Good morning, friends. Prepared Suburbanite here, back at you. And today I'm going to go on a bit of a rant about what's going on with our current administration uh, because they can. So stick around. To begin with, as you probably already have heard, um, the Biden administration, Joseph R. Biden, decided to sign a proclamation um, making Easter Sunday the Transgender Day of Visibility. And why do you suppose they did that? Well, because they can, because they did, and because they hate us. Now, there's a reason behind, underneath all this, that I really truly believe is the real reason. They want a reaction to this kind of nonsense. And they want folks um, that have a conservative mindset, that believe in the Constitution, that believe in Jesus Christ as our Savior, and they wanted a reaction. And I think they got the reaction. Maybe not exactly what they wanted, but there was enough reaction out there to really zero in on what the agenda really was. They wanted us to be very vocal about this apparent travesty. Sorry about that. And they wanted us to comment on it so that we could and react to it so that they could um, use that against us, use that in a fashion that would say, oh, these people, they have absolutely no tolerance at all for alternate lifestyles, and they are bigots, and they just hate transgender people without a doubt. Well, I personally don't care what people do with their lives, but what they're doing in the Biden administration and Joseph R. Biden by signing this proclamation was that they were trying to push us just a little bit. And I think they succeeded in doing that. There's enough nonsense out there right now that are saying, oh, we're just a bunch of rubes, the smelly Walmart crowds. That's us. And if you're not progressive, if you're not with it the way society is going right now, then you are our enemy and we hate you for it. And they will use everything in their power to gain control over that kind of narrative. And they are masters at it. Given the Transgender Day of Visibility, plus all the other um, holidays for the alternate lifestyle community, um, they get they get like 3 months of a month of gay rights, a month of this one, a month of that one, plus various little 1 and 2 day holidays in between that they're trying to change the culture. They have changed the culture, and I am beside myself, pretty much in disbelief about how much leeway they are taking with our belief systems, our belief in Christianity, our belief in the risen Christ, our belief in the Constitution and the right way to do things. the moral right way to do things. And what they're doing just ain't right. If you look at some of the other nonsense that they're doing, um, the expansive growth in exhaust emission standards that are basically designed to force the sale of electronic vehicles so that we can no longer afford and manufacturers can no longer afford to produce the internal combustion gasoline or diesel powered engines that we've become so accustomed to. They want to change that. They want to do this electric vehicle thing. And if you want an electric vehicle, hey, that's fine. I don't think it fits my lifestyle. I don't think it fits a lot of people's lifestyles. But if that's your thing, then fine. But don't try to force me to adapt to this crazy nonsense that this is going to save the climate, it's going to save the planet. I'm not buying it because there are too many other things that have been pushed below the surface to keep us on our toes. And that's just part of it. Um, the student loan forgiveness nonsense, what that really is they're taking your hard earned tax dollars away from you and giving it to somebody else that may not deserve it just because they decided to take out a huge loan to go to a progressive college somewhere and learn underwater basket weaving or whatever it is that they find so appealing. But do you see any of this stuff going on where they're trying to fund trade schools, where they're trying to fund apprenticeships and um, electronics or electricians or plumbing or heavy machine operating? No, you don't see that kind of stuff going on. Stuff that is the backbone of America and what built this great country. The continuing attacks on the Second Amendment, it just never stops. You look at the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms group, and they're passing regulations and rules and changes to definitions every which way they can to eliminate our ability to defend ourselves, which is already constitutionally defined, and to keep arms out of the populace so that we can't defend ourselves against a tyrannical government. That's why they want us disarmed. And if you look at history, you can certainly tell that that's usually the first action that totalitarian dictators, authoritarian regimes take. They disarm the public, and they're trying to do it here right now. Um, Trying to get rid of assault rifles. They're trying to reduce magazine sizes. They're levying taxes after taxes on ammunition, excise taxes on rifles, all that kind of stuff. Well, um, it's starting to wear pretty thin on me. The current administration is accused of, and I don't think anybody can really prove it, but there are certainly enough evidence out there that they have weaponized the three-letter agencies to act against the conservative folks in this country. They've weaponized the FBI. They've weaponized the CIA, and they're coming after us every which way you can imagine. And sometimes things that you can't even imagine. There are articles and news broadcasts and podcasts that are talking about all these kinds of tyrannical movements that this current administration is engaged in. And it's really starting to get under my skin. DEI in our armed forces, the proper use of pronouns and things like that. Our armed forces are there to protect us, to protect our borders, to keep us safe. And I can't, for the life of me, figure out how come diversity, equity, and inclusion is part of that formula. I can't, and it makes no sense to me. Our fighting forces should be fighting for our liberty, fighting for our freedoms, and they should not be hamstrung by the proper use of pronouns and DEI kind of methodologies that are permeating our armed forces today. The current administration is toying with the idea of a CBDC, central bank digital currency, where they would issue to deserving people based on your score, or however they're going to calculate that, that you get X number of spendable units in your CBDC wallet, and they will tell you what you can spend it on. So much for food, so much for this, so much for that. And if you stray from their good graces, you won't be able to use any of those DEI, those CBDC dollars or units. And I'm very, very concerned about this whole global initiative to restrict our freedoms, restrict capitalism, restrict the use of a free market type society that we have grown so accustomed to. Because they can is really the whole thing here. And they do it because they've got the media in their pocket. And the media, it goes out of their way. If you've ever watched NBC, CBS, ABC, any of the cable news kinds of things, MSNBC, CNN, you know firsthand that they are supporting every single one of these initiatives right now. And it's absolutely heartbreaking to watch what's going on with the media. They're supposed to be our watchdog. That's why they put it in the First Amendment that um, they're supposed to be having the freedom that they need to do their job. But when they all come on board behind this kind of liberal leftist nonsense, it's really, really hard to gain a foothold against them. They really want the attention drawn to their agendas. They want us to comment and to react so that they can use that against us. There's a big election coming up in November, and they will be making all kinds of advertisements that they will sell on the media to disparage anybody that has that supports the GOP, that supports any kind of conservatism, and we will be forced to deal with this. And they're doing it on purpose. This is what they want. They want a division in our country, in our political philosophies. And I don't think we can allow them to do it. It's up to us as conservatives to fight back with this. Show them the hypocrisy. We've done it before, and we can continue to do it. And I think we're making a little bit of an inroad here and there, but we can't be the silent generation anymore. We have got to be more vocal. I've got a voice here on YouTube, and that's what this video is all about. It's to encourage you every single one of you to not react negatively, but to show them the error of their ways, to show them that capitalism is the only economic system that's been put in place that has actually pulled people out of poverty. Government intervention, government programs, handouts, you name it, that's uh, that's not working. It only makes the problem worse. Think about the war on drugs. Think about the war on the homeless. It's not working for them. And it's up to us to point out the errors of their ways. So, with that being said, I am convinced they really do hate us and they want us to go away and disappear. We can only be prepared for the onslaught that's coming between now and the election in November. So stay on your toes, put your head on a swivel, and get out there and let them know what they're trying to do to us ain't gonna work. This is the Prepared Suburbanite reminding you to be prepared always, and I'll see you all on the next video.